Guys, what's going on? Welcome to this very special edition of the Main Event Talk right here on YouTube. And guys, I think you guys know about the breaking news. It was displayed on WWE Monday Night Raw tonight. But if none of you know what the news is, let me go ahead and spell it out for you. But before I go ahead and mention about this part of the breaking news, as most of you guys had an opportunity to check out Monday Night Raw tonight, as you know, Daniel Bryan has been stripped of the Intercontinental Championship. Well, actually, he's relinquished, the WWE Championship because due to his injury, apparently he's not going to be able to compete for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, which is really, really sad. And also the fact that, you know, we all saw it coming. I mean, it's pretty much a repeat of what happened last year from him being stripped of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And now he was relinquishing the Intercontinental Championship. Daniel Bryan's going to be out for a while, but I know that he's also going to be a part of Tough Enough. And I have a lot I want to say about that in the near future, so you guys will be prepared for that episode of the Main Event Talk coming in the next days and weeks to come. Now that I got that part of the news out of the way, let me talk about something that relates to the breaking news and everything else like that. Now, this is to everybody in Corpus Christi, Texas. This is to my home city. This is to my home place. As you guys know, WWE is coming to Corpus Christi live Sunday, May 31st. And most of you guys that have kept up with some of the advertisements that take place on television, you guys know about some of the matches that are taking place. Dean Ambrose goes one-on-one against Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns goes one-on-one against the Big Show in a steel cage match. Now that is being advertised at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi on May 31st. Now this is supposed to be a live show. That's what it was supposed to be. But as the old saying goes, if you see the little print that you see right there, card subject to change. And sure enough, the card is about to change in a huge way. Because just announced, everybody knows about WWE Payback coming this Sunday live exclusively on pay-per-view. Well, I can't say exclusively on pay-per-view. I can actually say it's on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. The Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins defending the title against Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the Viper Randy Orton. That's going to take place this Sunday. But the other pay-per-view, it is the return, and I'm very excited that it's going to happen again because, well, number one, it's exclusively on the WWE Network, which means apparently you can't get it on pay-per-view. You can't, which is a huge disappointment. The Elimination Chamber returns, and it's going to take place, believe it or not, right here in Corpus Christi, Texas. Remember when I said card subject to change? Well, it changed in a huge fucking way. Several months ago, WWE pretty much eliminated the Elimination Chamber and brought Fastlane, which was a good pay-per-view, but we all kept saying the same thing over and over again. We want the Elimination Chamber to come back. And sure enough, we are getting exactly what we want. We want the Elimination Chamber to come back, and it's going to take place. But the historic part of this whole thing is, I've been a part of several of WWE's events that have taken place here in Corpus Christi for a long, long time. Everything from some of the house shows that took place over at the Memorial Coliseum back in the day. And then when Hulk Hogan made his very first appearance when he took on Typhoon. And then, all of a sudden, the first appearance of WWE SmackDown over 10 years ago, when Eddie Guerrero was still alive. The first SmackDown show, well, the first ever SmackDown show to take place over at the American Bank Center, happens there on at the American Bank Center, like that. Then Raw comes over. I become a part of that. I've seen Raw, I've seen SmackDown, I've seen some of the live shows that have taken place over in Corpus Christi. So I know what goes on. And for years, For so many years, I have begged, I have pleaded, I have said the same thing. You've got to bring the WWE over for its first pay-per-view. It doesn't matter if you bring the Royal Rumble or if you bring Survivor Series or SummerSlam. I seriously doubt if you ever bring, WrestleMania to the American Bank Center, although that would be truly historic, which means we're going to have to make the American Bank Center a whole lot bigger and everything else like that. But anyways, I have pleaded and I've begged for the WWE to put out a WWE pay-per-view event to take place over at the American Bank Center. I've waited years for this moment, and now all of a sudden, even though it's not on pay-per-view, it's going to take place exclusively on the WWE Network, which means for the first time ever, in all the times I've been here in Corpus Christi, of all the events, of all the matches, of everything that's taken place over here in Corpus Christi at the American Bank Center, one of the most demonic structures in the history of WWE will take place at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I'm talking about the return of the Elimination Chamber. It's coming to Corpus Christi in the main event, and I'm like in awe right now, because when I heard the news, I stood up in my fucking chair, and I'm like, you gotta be out of your fucking mind, you gotta be kidding me. You mean to tell me that this live house show, and it's still being called a house show for some odd reason, is now being turned into an entire pay-per-view? Well, actually, it's not a pay-per-view, because if it was a pay-per-view, it would be on pay-per-view, and instead of it being exclusive to the WWE Network. Which means everyone's going to have to go on their iPhones, on their Androids, on their iPads, and everything else like that to check out the Elimination Chamber on the WWE Network. This is a first in Corpus Christi history. This is the first time that the Elimination Chamber takes place at the American Bank Center. For so many years, I've seen steel cage matches, I've seen no disqualification matches, I've seen several different street fight matches that have taken place at the American Bank Center. Now, we get the Elimination Chamber match. And it's a first. It's a big time first. Because, and I've already heard the complaints already. Well, shit, we should have the Elimination Chamber take place over in Austin, Texas. Why don't we have it, take place over in San Antonio? Why don't we have it over in Dallas, Texas? Why don't we have it over this and that? Listen, with all due respect to all those cities, because I live in Texas, I like those cities, but fuck all those fucking cities. That's the truth. Okay? No disrespect. But the thing is, how often do we get an event like this, the Elimination Chamber, to happen in Corpus Christi? Do you realize how big this huge structure is going to be? I mean, I've seen how big the ring looks and everything else like that. But to have the Elimination Chamber being set, 4 different chambers, 2 superstars start off, and everything else like that. Now, here's the little thing that comes in my head right now, and this is something that needs to happen. It needs to be a first. Not just the fact that the Elimination Chamber is going to be over at the American Bank Center, but as you guys know, Daniel Bryan has relinquished the Intercontinental Championship. So why don't we make another first? Not just the fact that the Elimination Chamber is taking place at the American Bank Center, but why don't we go ahead? Why don't we make a main event match? A main event match, but do it for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, that's right. Since Daniel Bryan is no longer the champion, and since the title is pretty much vacated, why don't you go ahead? Why don't you eliminate the whole idea of putting the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the Elimination Chamber match and put it down for the Intercontinental Championship? It's a first. It's a huge first. It's an idea coming out of the mind of the main event, and I know all of you that are watching this episode of the Main Event Talk will agree with this. How about this? And here are the participants that I want to be a part of this Elimination Chamber Intercontinental Championship match. Now, like I said, that's not what's going to happen, but this is what's going through my veins, going through my mind. So listen up. Say the Intercontinental Championship is now on the line. You get 6 participants to take place. The 6 participants that I select would be Dean Ambrose, King Barrett, Neville, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler. And who do we add out of this entire group? And this is just my thought, this is just my opinion, and I think he deserves to be in the match. Bray Wyatt. Why not? Add those 4 individuals in the Elimination Chamber and have it take place for the Intercontinental Championship. For so many years, the Elimination Chamber match has always been for either the World Heavyweight title or the WWE Championship. No other championship has ever been defended in the Elimination Chamber match. So why not put the Intercontinental Championship at the Elimination Chamber match? Put 6 of those participants in there, and the winner becomes the brand new Intercontinental Champion. It's a first. It's an idea. It's a thought. But I bet you guys will probably have a better idea than me. But I can bet you $1 million that if you think for 1 second that the WWE World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line at the Elimination Chamber, there's a good chance that that could happen. But at the same time, let's have something different for a change. So, the announcement that's being made already. WWE Elimination Chamber returns to Corpus Christi. Well, actually, WWE returns to Corpus Christi. But WWE Corpus Christi, for the first time, gets the WWE Elimination Chamber match to take place at the American Bank Center live on the WWE Network. It's exclusive. So if you guys have got your tickets, you're lucky. If you guys don't got your tickets, you're a bunch of crazy bastards if you're going to miss that. Especially me. I've got to be a part of this. I've got to see it before my eyes. See this whole demonic structure that took place in 2002. And here we are in 2015, almost, what, 15, 20 years later? 750 years later? I could be wrong. But that's the breaking announcement. WWE Elimination Chamber coming to Corpus Christi exclusively on the WWE Network Sunday, May 31st. And I cannot wait to check it out. So for right now, guys, that's going to do it for this edition of the Main Event Talk. I would love to talk a whole lot more, but I'll wait on that. I want to give you my thoughts on WWE Payback this Sunday live and exclusively on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. I also want to talk about TNA Wrestling and the whole thing with the Beatdown Clan. I also want to talk about Ring of Honor coming to pay-per-view very, very soon, and also Global Force Wrestling coming very soon over to Las Vegas and everything else like that. And of course, Lucha Underground, you can't forget about them. So guys, I'm done, but don't worry, the Main Event Talk will return, and when it happens, you'll know it. So follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Of course, check out all of my videos on YouTube, and don't forget to check out Payback on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. And once again, WWE Elimination Chamber is coming to Corpus Christi for the very first time. That event's going to take place at the American Bank Center, live, exclusively on the WWE Network. And tickets are still going on sale. WWE, the best value in entertainment. So, thank you for watching, and don't worry, the Main Event Talk will return, and I've got a lot I want to say. Why? Because I can, and I want to. Any questions? Enough said. Corpus Christi, hear me now. Get your tickets. Let's explode. Let's blow up. And I don't mean blow up as in make a bomb, put it at the American Bank Center, and watch it explode. I mean, let's go off on the Elimination Chamber and let's watch the Elimination Chamber right there before our eyes. And WWE, if you can hear me, Elimination Chamber, Intercontinental Championship matchup, 6 individuals. Let's make history. Intercontinental Championship, Corpus Christi, history.